happens, and then the winter meetings, which tends to be where a lot of deals tend to go down. And if he's not signed by then, it's just it could be a long winter.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Well, is there any way that the Nationals actually bring Harper back?
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, what do you mean? Like money wise?
Like, yeah. Do you think that they can convince him to stay?
Oh, I think
'Cause I
they're
don't.
I think they're the front runner.
I don't.
I don't think they're the front runner. It depends. I don't think they're the front runner right now. It depends how they do in this season. I mean, if they win the World Series, then I think they're the front runner. I think if they make it far, they're the front runner. I think if they don't make the playoffs or they're out in the first round again, or they get to the NLDS, they get like swept. I think he's out of there.
Yeah, if they do the Nationals thing like they normally do, but the Caps, I mean, kind of killed the DC motto, I guess, by winning the Cup.
Yeah, they turned it around. So let's see if they can. I guess.
I just think that their GM is going to be under a world of pressure because I mean his seat is a little. I know he signed an extension, but that doesn't mean anything. If you're an executive or even a manager for that matter. But I just think the pressure is going to be immense for him to retain the face of their franchise and really the only face that they have ever had for that franchise. So,
yeah, I mean, well, who's next? Soriano?
Strasburg.
Yeah.
For a bit.
So that's kind of that's a big reason why I factor them in. If you want to just do it from a money standpoint, then I think Philly kind of has to be the favorite.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, he's basically already in Philly in my mind for some reason.
Philly or Atlanta. I mean, there's rumors that Mike
in
Trout
the East, basically.
There's the Philly, so
yeah.
The
White
He's gonna be in
Sox. The White Sox are the only American League team I can really see him play for him at this point.
That'd be so weird.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, yeah, it makes sense money wise
and where they are in their rebuild, basically.
Yeah, wise because he could play 10 years there and help out in pretty much all 10 years, probably, or at least 7 of them really well.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, yeah, I don't really know.
Either the White Sox, the Dodgers, or like you guys were just saying, he stays in the NL East, which is what I think will happen ultimately. But
I don't think he wants to share the spotlight. So being in Chicago, you would have to share the spotlight with another team, much less another player on your team.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, he does have some stars on his team now, so he does it pretty well now. But yeah, I don't know how Bryce Harper is as a dude. I don't know if he wants money, if he wants to win, if he wants to be alone, what he wants. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I just assume he's going to take the highest offer. So whoever
the Boris way.
The Boris way, and I mean, unless it comes down to saying oh yeah, the White Sox will give you $400 million over 10 years, but the Phillies will give you $370 over 10 years, and you can go win there. Maybe he does that, but that's the only thing I can think of. It's a small amount of money.
The Mets couldn't be in it. What do you think?
What was that?
The Mets wouldn't be in play.
I don't think they're in play at all.
No, yeah.
I think that franchise just,
they don't pay for free agents to begin with. Their injury history is awful, and they are going to end up probably trading away or losing
everybody.
Yeah, they're going to either trade away their starting pitchers or losing to Tommy John or torn labrums or something.
We probably should have got to this way sooner, and I guess we'll kind of wrap with this topic now. I guess the Yankees are currently talking to them, and there's a good chance they could get DeGrom or Syndergaard. I don't think they'll get them both, but both are instant game changers anyway. And I think
that's a problem.
DeGrom,
I think, might be having a better year. I don't have their numbers up, but I know he's had.
DeGrom right now is probably first or second in the NL Cy Young voting.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it had been several quality starts in a row. So,
especially if he can play during the daytime, he's the best daytime pitcher I've ever seen. If you want a weird stat, look at Jacob DeGrom's daytime ERA.
I love those stats. I think those might I love random stats like that. They're my favorite.
He's got a 1.5 ERA for his career in the daytime.
Well, you should go to the Cubs then.
Yeah, seriously. So DeGrom this year, he's got 13 games played,
right?
and he has 9 quality starts. He is 4-1, 80 pitches, 106 strikeouts, a 1.57 ERA, 23 walks, only 14 earned runs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He is absolutely crushing. And Syndergaard is doing well. Obviously DeGrom's better than Syndergaard, and if maybe they don't want to give up as much prospect-wise, they go get Syndergaard. Syndergaard obviously is great as well. He's got 3.06 ERA in 11 games started, 7 quality starts, and he's got 76 strikeouts. So, just pick under DeGrom, but still really good.
Well,
if I'm the Yankees, I'm going to get DeGrom because you have Severino for somebody like Syndergaard. Get somebody else. Get somebody that does something different. Somebody with more pitches.
Yeah, I think you have to go for DeGrom just because he's the better pitcher on the same team. Like, why would you settle for less, give up the prospect you have, and just go get the prize horse there?
The one upside, though, to Syndergaard is he has an extra year of control. DeGrom comes up for free agency after 2020. Syndergaard the year after. So I don't know if that's something they would look at. And I think Syndergaard might be just a little bit more durable than DeGrom as well.
Well, they both have their injury issues, and it's Thor's lat, and that hasn't been, and he's been on and off the DL. I mean, it's arbitration for the next 2 years after this for DeGrom, and then you have his UFA year when he's 32. So, I mean, I think you go for it since they're in win now mode anyway, and they're talking about not being able to keep Sanchez and Judge and everything like that. I think you go for DeGrom. It makes them a legitimate contender, especially if Sonny Gray can figure it out and just be average. They'll have the best rotation probably behind Houston, if not better than Houston, with Severino, DeGrom, and then Sonny Gray as your 1, 2, 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I still lean toward Houston, but in terms of the American League East, I mean, they're like a rock solid favorite to win the division.
Oh yeah, they if they get DeGrom and Sonny Gray can figure it out, they probably win the division.
Yeah,
and that's not Red Sox.
What does DeGrom demand?
What do you mean?
Is it Glaber? Is it Sheffield? Is it?
Oh, it's Sheffield for sure.
It's got to be Justice, right?
Yeah, it's definitely Justice, and it's almost worth it, honestly.
I keep hearing it would also have to be Glaber Torres as well.
You think?
Yeah, it's going to be a painful trade.
It definitely would be. I mean, it makes sense for both teams, honestly. The Yankees are in win now mode, and they do need starting pitching. And, we talked about this on the last podcast that doesn't exist. But, good teams don't draft starting pitching. Bad teams do. And the Yankees are a good team now, and you're not going to waste high draft picks on pitching unless it's a Strasburg-type guy, number 1 overall. So, and they're not going to get that at this point. So they're going to go out and trade for these guys. They have a plethora in the farm system of just great athletes in the field. Go trade them away and go get Jake DeGrom. If I'm a Yankee fan, I want Jake DeGrom for sure, considering that you can have him for 2 more years after this in arbitration. And when he's 32, you can lock him up if you want. Or you could trade him. Or you could try and sign him to a short-term, like 4-year, $200 million deal. I have no idea. But I want to go get DeGrom. And I think that they have the prospects to do it. They should do it because you could always get rid of not Aaron Judge, get rid of a Gary Sanchez or get rid of another higher profile player and keep some of the younger guys or DeGrom.
Ask yourself this. When was the last time mid-season was a DeGrom type pitcher traded? Because off the top of my head, it's been nothing but rentals the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, not somebody with that much control.
Yeah,
right.
And that, like, how good he is. Like he's a legitimate ace on every team in the league. Like, he could be a number 1 on every single team.
Right.
Yeah.
So that just, just speaks to the fact that it is going to be a painful trade for the Yankees.
Would it be Verlander? because Verlander has this year left,
Oh,
so it
true.
wasn't really a risk.
Yeah, the only difference though was he was traded. He had to clear waivers, so.
Oh, that's right. He did that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was
not
trade
that,
deadline.
not that that's a big difference, but.
Yeah.
But he had a ridiculous contract too, so that kind of helped the prospect package be a little lower than what you could expect for DeGrom as well.
DeGrom, I mean, he is sitting so pretty right now, and just in general, I mean, the Mets are in really good position to move him. DeGrom's in a great. I mean, if he goes to the Yankees, I mean, he knows he's going to get paid, and now he has a chance to win as well, and he doesn't even have to change his life. He literally just goes to a different ballpark.
Yeah,
the same house.
That's a great point. His kids are going to stay in the same school, if they are in school.
Yeah, I mean, he's 29 years old too. He's not an old guy at all. So, I mean, this is just a win-win for everybody involved, pretty much, except for the farm system. But, I mean, that's what you get these guys for. They're not all going to play between guys being blocked and guys don't pan out. So, you don't want to pull a Red Sox and end up holding on to guys like, Owen,
Ugh.
I don't even want to say the words. I don't want to say who I want to talk about. But the Cole Hamels trade, if you remember a few years back, there's some untouchables that aren't even in the Red Sox system anymore. So,
one that's in the starting lineup right now.
Henry Owen, for example. So, and you get guys like, you get misses in trades like Alan Craig, and you get misses in free agent signings in Castillo. So, not everything's going to pan out, and you can't hold on to these prospects forever.
Here's a scary question for you. What if the Yankees got DeGrom and Cole Hamels, which I think is entirely realistic?
Yeah,
Hamels is going to demand a lot.
If they get both, then they are flat-out World Series favorites and the best team in the league, right?
Yeah.
In terms of a complete team, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can debate all day long over whether or not Houston still has the better rotation, but they definitely don't have the Yankees bullpen, and I think the lineups are comparable, and I think you even actually have to give the Yankees the edge there.
Better.
Yeah, so they're the most complete team in baseball at that point.
It could happen. I think that the only reason I don't think it does happen, though, is because if they trade for DeGrom and they give up the house for him, Texas is going to say, oh, so you gave up the house for DeGrom, so you can give it up for Hamels as well.
Yeah, the Hamels deal would have to be done first.
Yeah. I don't
If possible, and then get whatever they can hold on to for DeGrom.
I mean, Hamels is basically a rental because, I mean, I'm assuming his option won't be picked up. So I don't really see him commanding a huge haul. Like maybe a top 10 prospect and a couple mid-level guys, but nowhere near the one that Texas had to give up initially to acquire him.
Well, no. Those are two guys that are in the Phillies starting lineup.
Right.
And you're not going to have to give up that.
Right.
No, they would have. I think they do the Hamels one first, just so that they know what they have left.
Right, and they have the luxury of doing so because they're in the lead as far as the AL East go. They're actually down 2-0 against the Mets right now. So if they go on to lose this game, I think we're either.
They are. I got Severino on my fantasy squad.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, Todd Frazier hit a 375-foot home run with an exit velocity of only 99 miles an hour.
That sounds like Todd Frazier home run.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a blooper, I guess. But so that they'll keep the lead one way or the other. So they could get the Hamels deal done, next week or whatever, and still probably be in the lead or on par with us. And you have to figure a DeGrom deal is gonna, take some time to materialize. Who else is in the hunt for DeGrom? Like, who would trade him?
I don't think there is anybody, honestly. Like,
it just makes so much
demanding a starting pitcher right now.
Right.
Yeah.
None of the big playoff teams, in my opinion.
That need, and maybe the only team I can think of is maybe the Cubs.
Yeah.
They could start like that between injuries and just underperformance.
And they have the prospects too.
And they